Hello and welcome back to another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice. Here I am again, and this is review number 25, part 2 of a short series on two Campbeltown distilleries, think about that, owned by the Mitchell family. Last time we reviewed Hazelburn, and this time we're looking at this, the peated one, Longrow. Longrow, twice distilled and peated. So this is their totally peated version. What do we know about Longrow? As I say, this is twice distilled, bottled at 46%. As I said in the last review, as with most Springbank offerings, 46 or higher. Is it chill filtered? No. Is the colour added? No. Once again, everything done in-house. Everything done within the walls of the distillery itself. Pretty much everything there is in the build-up to that. As I say, there's probably other history and whatnot, and we'll probably hit on it again at some point. Springbank distillery itself, you could delve into their history. But I don't want to keep repeating myself with these reviews as to the history of Campbeltown and Campbeltown's distilleries themselves. So let's just get straight into this. On the nose, now remember this is actually peated and quite heavily peated, although the first thing you get on the nose is peat, but it's sweet, refreshing peat, if that makes sense. It's a nice sparkly peat, but there's that sparkly thing I'll get to later, because it jumps out of the glass at you, but it doesn't remain the overwhelming thing, the overwhelming note, because that sweet refreshing peat does give way to a slightly more savoury, earthy peat. The more soft, earthy peat is behind the sweet, sparkly peat. Very soft, very rounded. Lemonade, but when I say lemonade, I don't mean the carbonated, bottled 7-Up or whatever, you know. I mean good quality, the stuff that the American, you know, you see in the American streets sold by kids. That real bitter lemonade and sherbet, yet again taking in that lemon thing again. Slight detergent, not off-putting, but it is there, and I would suggest beeswax, not honey, but beeswax that you would use to polish wood. Spent matches, very much so, and a slight fusty note, which could be the Springbank funk, which is well known. Very soft delivery, slightly dry, slightly bitter, very gentle, and then a dusty peat starts to appear very quickly, and even a dusty malt. Sweet, and as I said at the start about that sweet peat, sweet refreshing peat, this almost has something that would suggest to the palate that it's fizzy. Obviously it's not, but it would almost suggest that it's carbonated. So sparkly, so bright is what's going on in there. There's fruit. I would suggest it's like a gooseberry. It is fresh, it is sweet. Even more like a jam or a compote rather than being the fruit. It's a fresh fruit, perhaps more of a jam. The finish, I would say medium. It doesn't hang around forever. Those spent matches are there still. Clove and cinnamon and slight dusty malt again. That's probably about a teaspoonful, I would say, because yet again 46%, there is room for manoeuvre there. You can actually bring it down a bit. As with most, I would suggest, it softens the palate, softens the nose slightly. Only slightly, because it does softens but changes. That dusty malt starts to come out on the nose. And barbecue, there's definitely savoury, earthy, cooked meat on there. Palate becomes quite dry. Not off-puttingly dry, but just drier. And whereas I would have suggested earlier lemonade, it becomes more like a lemon juice now. That it becomes more concentrated. Finish doesn't change a whole lot. Maybe it becomes slightly sweeter. Yeah, where that clove and cinnamon were there earlier, still there, but just maybe a little sweeter. What I would do actually is recommend this if you are a fan of Ardbeg, Lagavulin, Lefroy, those three big peat names that come. I would recommend you try this because it's a different world. Not saying it's better. I mean, if you're into those three whiskies, you'll know what you like, but it's just different. It's a step aside. It's somebody that knows how to make whiskey and knows what they're doing and have taken their slant on it. This is Springbank making peated whiskey and making it bloody well, in my opinion. I mean, this is good whiskey. It's good quality whiskey. There's a lot going on, and I highly recommend it. And as such, and as with the Hazelburn, probably just coincidence, because had to be made by different distilleries, I would still have given it this rating, but I would give it another solid 8.5 out of 10, as I did with the Hazelburn. But to say that is just coincidence. It's just, I would have given this 8.5 out of 10, whoever had made it, because it's just good whiskey. Good peated whiskey. If you don't like peat, you're not going to like this. If you do like peat and you haven't tried this, give it a go. Very, very solid stuff. And that is it. I'm going to call this review done, and we'll be back the next time with another Springbank offering, and I hope to see you then. Thank you for your continued support. If you haven't followed the channel, please do. Click the subscribe, click the bell for further notice. Here's to your good health. Cheers. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.